What's going on, all you brainiacs out there, and welcome back to yet another Football Draft Friday. Just a little reminder, every single Friday between now and the NFL Draft, I will be releasing a new video analyzing a different top draft prospect and talking about their value for fantasy football next season. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at the pretty consensus number one overall running back in Travis Etienne out of Clemson. Let's get it rolling.
Welcome to The Lab.
So like I mentioned before the intro, Travis Etienne is the mostly consensus number one overall running back. I'm not aware of many places that have anybody above him in their running back position. Now, I could argue Kenneth Gainwell out of Memphis, but we're not going to get into that argument today because Travis Etienne, in my opinion, is really the number one guy. You look at the combination of power, speed, vision, elusiveness, quickness, all the things you're looking for in a running back, ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, ability to block on pass blocking situations. Travis Etienne can do it all, and that's why I have him as the number one guy. So let's go ahead and get into the film, and I'll show you exactly where I see all of these instances. All right, getting started here, getting into the film of Travis Etienne. The game that I have decided to go with for this film breakdown is his game against Notre Dame, the first one, because he had a statistically horrible day. It was his worst game of the season by far. He had 18 attempts for 28 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, he did manage to get in the end zone, but having 1.8 yards per carry, not something you want to see out of a top running back. The reason I'm showing this game is because even though he had a statistically horrible game, he still did a lot of things that you want to see out of a potential future NFL running back. He showed exactly why he is the top guy still, even though they managed to shut him down. So let's get into it, starting off with this first play right here. This is the first run of the game, and it actually goes very well. He picks up, I think, 10 yards here, and, watch it here. There are a lot of very good things that he does, a lot of very subtle things. Going back to right at the handoff here, you're going to see, starting with his vision, right here, you see you've got number 6, a defender right there who is kind of, who's going to get in the way of him being able to hit the hole and break through with speed. But he recognizes that he's got a blocker here. So what does he do? He waits for that block to be set and breaks through the hole. That right there is very good vision and patience, and something you definitely want to see from the running back position, just the ability to understand where the blocks are coming from and wait it out. And he also manages to fit through a pretty darn small hole. Squeezing through tight holes is something that is very important for NFL running backs because, from college to the pros, for running backs, obviously holes get smaller to hit through at the professional level, so showing the ability to get through small holes is very important. And, on top of that, receiving the ball, obviously windows get tighter there. So that's the first good thing. And then you see the immediate speed, the acceleration, and the good balance right here. Number 20 is going to trip up Etienne, but Etienne's going to stay on his feet. He's going to keep going right there. He keeps going. If he had let that arm tackle get him down, it would have been a 6-yard gain. Instead, he keeps going, and now here he gets hit by another defender. Had he gone down here, it would have been an 8-yard gain. However, he uses the power. So there he shows good power, good speed, good balance, good vision. He shows everything you want to see from a running standpoint from an NFL running back. Here in this next clip is another example of him squeezing through a tight hole. This is in short yardage situations, so they really need to get that first down, and look at that. I mean, that hole does not get any smaller. He recognizes exactly where that hole is. And it's interesting because when you first look at it, it looks like this is the biggest hole, but he sees that there's a defender there and recognizes, oh, this is where my linemen are going to open the hole for me. Recognizes that, manages to just get in there, gets the short yards, which is obviously very important. You want to be able to get those short first downs. You want to be able to get in the end zone from the 1-yard line. So that's a very important thing that he does well. He's very good in short yardage situations. Now, here you're going to see some good vision again and good patience. Like with the first clip, You see here Etienne watches, he waits behind his offensive lineman. There you go. He gets the ball. He waits for those blocks to be set up. Once number 94 goes and blocks this guy, boom, suddenly he's in the hole. Obviously, it got blown up, but again, it just shows the good patience that Travis Etienne has. All right, now this shows his acceleration and his balance. I mean, he explodes through the hole. He stays up through contact. Let's go back, watch it one more time. Obviously, this hole is blurred. This is not showing his vision. He recognizes that there's a big hole. So what does he do? He hits it with a full head of speed. It only takes him a few steps to get that acceleration. Boom, hits it with the spin move. Stays on his feet, manages to go for a few more yards. That's, again, being able to power through contact is very important for running backs. And here you're going to see some power. Right here, I showed you his speed last play. Now I'm going to show you his power. I mean, you know, where were they? They were on the 3-yard line. He's in the end zone standing up against a very tough Notre Dame defense. He's got great power. He's got great speed. Probably the fastest running back in this draft. Travis Etienne can really, really do it all. Starting here, you are going to see a block. Now, what's very important for an all-around NFL running back, and if you're going to draft a running back in the first round, you do definitely want them to be an all-around running back. That's why I would understand Najee Harris dropping to the second round, because even though he can catch the ball, he's not a guy who's going to thrive a lot catching the ball. Travis Etienne, on the other hand, will thrive on third downs. You need to be able to do two things on third down. You need to be able to catch the ball, and you need to be able to block for your quarterback, and that's where you can really be a 1, 2, 3 down running back. Here you see Travis Etienne, number 9 right here. You see there's just this free rusher at the quarterback. He obviously takes a fake handoff. There's a free rusher at the quarterback. He recognizes that, lays down a nice little chop block right there and keeps him from getting to his quarterback, gives his quarterback a few more seconds, which is all that you need to do as a running back. You know, if your quarterback, instead of having an average of 2.5 seconds in the pocket, has an average of 3.5 seconds, that's a big difference. So here we go. Obviously, this play here gets blown up, but it wasn't because of Travis Etienne. So that ability to block is something that's important for a running back who is going to be used in all aspects of the game like Etienne will be. Excellent. Now you're going to see the other third down aspect, his pass catching chops. You're just going to see some very natural hands. I mean, you see the speed, obviously he gets taken down there, but you see the speed and acceleration out of the backfield. It's not really much of a route, but he just blows past this defender right here. I mean, this linebacker doesn't know what hit him. Number 40 is like, oh my gosh. And then Etienne has very soft hands. I mean, that catch, we can just watch the catch again. Blows past the defender. Boom. I mean, extremely soft hands. Really, it was effortless. Caught it in stride, kept going. That's what you get with Travis Etienne. Here you're going to see it again. Etienne is right here on your screen. You're going to see him slip this direction, slip past the defender up here. And you're going to see again just how good his hands can be. Right there. He high points the ball. He catches it over a defender's head. Sorry for the double vision here. Catches it over the defender's head. That is not something that's easy for even wide receivers to do. And the fact that Etienne can do it as a running back just shows exactly how special he can be in the pass game and why he is the top running back on most draft analyst boards, including my own. So that's just a phenomenal catch. Now, I will say, though, with all those good moments of good hands, Etienne is not inclined. Not inclined, I should say, to drops. I'm not going to say he's inclined to dropping the ball because he's not, but he did have some bad drops that showed up on tape, and really that just comes from a lack of focus. And you'll see probably the worst one right here. It's just a simple pitch that ends up right in the lap of this Notre Dame defender, and the Notre Dame defender takes it all the way into the end zone. And that's just not something that can happen as a running back. So he definitely needs to get a little bit better at focusing and making sure that he catches the ball and that it doesn't just end up falling in the lap of a defender. But that's not something that's going to happen very often, not something I'm super concerned about personally, just because there are so many moments of him having good hands that those drops can really be fixed. So Etienne, there really aren't many weaknesses. He has good vision, he has good speed, he has great speed, probably rumored to be able to run in the 4.3s and the 40. We'll see at the combine. He's got good power, he's got good balance, he's got good hands, an ability to block. So there's a lot of really good things to like about Travis Etienne, and that's why he is the number one guy on my draft board among running backs and why I have him as a first round evaluation. So let's get into the possible team fits for Travis Etienne and where it would be best for him to be for fantasy football in 2021. Looking at different running backs who are drafted in the first round, like Travis Etienne is projected to be, there aren't a lot of instances of those running backs not having an immediate impact on their team. Whenever you draft a guy in the first round, you want him to have that immediate impact. That's the point of having that first round pick. I mean, take a look at the Seattle Seahawks with Rashad Penny, for example. Okay, so maybe that was a bad example. But let's take a look at other running backs who were drafted in the first round. I mean, you have early round guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette. You know, you can say whatever you want about him. His first season, he did have an impact in the NFL. Even going back to 2012 when Trent Richardson was drafted. His first season with the Browns, he was immediately the starter, and he had a solid season. There are not a lot of examples of those guys in the first round going in and not having an immediate impact. Even later round guys. Josh Jacobs would be a great recent example there for the Las Vegas Raiders. He immediately came in, and I think his rookie year had like 1,100 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. Guys who can come in and kind of do it all like Travis Etienne can, and like I expect him to. So let's take a look at some good team fits for Travis Etienne. Now, the earliest I see him going in this draft is 16 at the Arizona Cardinals pick. Maybe the Cardinals let Kenyon Drake walk. He's a free agent this season. Maybe they don't think Chase Edmonds is the answer for a full-time running back. Now, if the Cardinals do pull the trigger and draft Travis Etienne, they're getting an all-around running back. However, all that being said, they still have Edmonds there who they're going to get involved somehow, and Kyler Murray will take a lot of rushing attempts away. So overall, I don't love the fit there for next season if Etienne were to go there. Now, looking at some of the other teams that could take him, you have the Miami Dolphins at 18. Maybe they don't think Myles Gaskin is the answer, even though he had a good season this year. Maybe they're like, I want to go out and draft somebody, right? Obviously, Jordan Howard isn't the answer. Matt Breida is also obviously not the answer. It'd be Gaskin or bust. So maybe they go out and they draft Travis Etienne. Maybe the Bears at 20. Maybe they don't think David Montgomery is their guy, though that one I would be a little bit surprised. Even the New York Jets at 23, but the Jets kind of need everything. So it's really, a hit or miss on who the heck the Jets are going to take there. The best spot, though, for Travis Etienne to go, in my mind, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And here's why. James Conner, I think, is pretty clearly not the answer there. They still have a pretty solid offensive line. Ben Roethlisberger, no matter what you want to say from this season, can still throw the football at a decent level. They have a lot of wide receivers there that they always have good wide receivers. Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, maybe Juju Smith-Schuster if he's back. Eric Ebron there at tight end that defenses have to focus on. You get Travis Etienne, a 1-2-3 down back in there, and I think he would have a full workload, and I think he would produce extremely well in that Pittsburgh Steelers offense. If he falls past the Steelers, there are still a few good spots for him to go in the first round and early in the second round. You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe they don't think Ronald Jones is the answer. I don't think they think Leonard Fournette is the answer. He'll probably walk again. So that could be another good spot for Travis Etienne. If he goes there, I would expect him to get a pretty complete workload because that would really mean that they don't think Ronald Jones is the future. Another good spot for him might be the Green Bay Packers. Maybe they let Aaron Jones walk. Maybe A.J. Dillon. Maybe they will let both Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams walk, and they don't think A.J. Dillon is the answer for that top running back spot. So maybe Travis Etienne gets it there. If he falls to the second round, the Jets could take him again because they have that third pick in the second round, or maybe the second pick in the second round, and they really need a running back. They need everything. I mean, the New York Jets are a mess right now. Even the 2 picks after the Jets, which are the Falcons and the Dolphins there early in that second round, would be good fits there for Travis Etienne. Again, I talked about the Dolphins earlier. If they draft Etienne, though if they do it in the second round, that might indicate that Myles Gaskin's going to get quite a few touches as well, and it's going to be more of a committee. But if the Falcons take him, Todd Gurley's gone. He is not coming back to the Atlanta Falcons. Ito Smith, Brian Hill, I don't think they're workhorse backs. If they go for Travis Etienne, I would absolutely expect him to get the majority of the workload there. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of Football Draft Friday. Thank you for sticking with me. I really hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you now understand exactly what makes Travis Etienne the top running back in my mind and where he could have a good impact for fantasy football in 2021. Definitely be paying attention to the NFL draft and the combine and how things shape up and really look to see if any of my predictions come true and if he ends up in any of those places. And if it works out that way, I mean, you look at different running backs, rookie running backs this year that had an impact. Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, obviously had some impact. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, before Le'Veon Bell got there, he was being drafted in the first round by a lot of people in fantasy drafts, including myself. So, it's very easy for rookie running backs to have a big fantasy impact. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you're following us on Twitter at FF Laboratory, and have a great day.